I think all of us would agree that creativity is important. I'd go as far as to say that it's almost essential to live a fulfilling life. The most regretful people on earth, Mary Oliver wrote as she distilled a lifetime of wisdom on creativity, are those who felt the call to creative work, who felt their own creative power restive and uprising and gave to it neither power nor time. But are you an artist? As a writer, I am often haunted by this question, and this was the question asked in The New Yorker by Alexandra Schwartz in their July 2024 issue. The article delves into the question of what sustains long-term creativity and productivity in artists. It doesn't limit itself to one medium. Instead, it spotlights a diverse group of veteran creators, dancers, writers, architects, actors, painters, composers, and musicians who have maintained creative vitality over decades rather than being fueled by a fixed personal narrative or unwavering identity. These artists exemplify resilience through flexibility. They adapt and evolve rather than cling to one career story. As Schwartz writes, a vibrant long run might be sustained not by armoring oneself inside an even bigger and more expensive fixed narrative, but by morphing through a varied series of them over many years. Which begs another question. If you're not willing to put in the work, are you not an artist? This can be explained by two questions. First, work versus identity. Being an artist isn't just about output. You can feel deeply creative, have an artist's eye, or think in artistic ways, even during seasons when you're not producing much. Many writers, painters, and musicians go through long stretches of dormancy, but they don't stop being artists. But if you never actually do the work, write, paint, compose, dance, then the art stays trapped as potential. An artist without practice is like a musician who never touches the instrument. The identity exists, but it never breathes. One of the reasons why so many of us live with unused potential is because creativity feels hard. So why does creativity feel hard? The brain networks in conflict. Research shows creativity depends on the balance between two networks, the default mode network, DMN, and the executive control network, ECN. A 2013 study by Roger Beatty and colleagues found that highly creative people show stronger connectivity between these two networks. But when stress or overthinking takes over, the ECN dominates, stifling idea generation, fear of judgment. Harvard researcher Teresa Amabile demonstrated that people produce fewer creative ideas when they feel they're being evaluated. The amygdala, your brain's fear center, literally dampens risk-taking, which kills originality. In my own practice of writing, it has become amply clear to me that you cannot constantly think about what people think about you. It leads to nothing but anguish. Dopamine and motivation. A 2010 study in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience found that dopamine plays a crucial role in divergent thinking, the ability to generate many different ideas. Low dopamine levels, often linked to fatigue or routine, make it harder for your brain to branch out creatively. All of this to say that while it might seem easy, creative work involves sustenance, which brings us to our next point. 2. Endurance matters. The New Yorker article emphasizes longevity and adaptation. Artists who keep creating over decades don't rely just on talent or inspiration. They adapt, evolve, and keep showing up. As Valda Setterfield said of her dance career, she stayed alive as an artist because she kept morphing with age, not despite it. That requires persistence, not just passion. So, in that sense, yes, putting in the work is part of being an artist, because art is as much about endurance as it is about inspiration. 3. But work does not equal suffering. It's not about grinding 12 hours a day to prove you're an artist. The article points out that vibrant creative lives often come from balance. ritual, rest, flexibility, and even play. The work, it's not always painful. Sometimes it's a practice of curiosity, discipline, and steady return. No one has refuted the myth of the suffering artist better than Carl Jung. He said, "True creative genius does not let itself be spoiled by analysis, but is freed from the impediments and distortions of a neurosis. Neurosis does not produce art, it is uncreative and inimical to life." So, what makes you an artist? The answer to this is simple. If you see the world differently and feel compelled to express it, wrestle with ideas, images, sounds, or words even when no one is watching, and are willing to engage the process even imperfectly, inconsistently, or experimentally, then you are an artist. But if you only dream about it and never enter the work, the identity may still be there, but the art itself doesn't get born. Writer Virginia Woolf emphasized the importance of inner freedom and the courage to express one's true thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment or societal constraints. Short answer: you are an artist by identity and sensibility, but you only become one in practice when you engage the work. If you liked this video, subscribe to my channel to support my work. Thank you.